such a weird thing. I created a new.
Hey, why isn't it go live?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. What's up, bro?
Hey, it's the What's Up Bro podcast. We talk movies, sports, TV shows, pop culture, and it's funny, mother. With Nery Saenz. I'm like, what? How can this? They have Photoshop. Photoshop exists when this artist rendition was done. How the fuck is this not cooler looking than a sketch that looks like it was done by a hillbilly off the side of the road? What the fuck are we talking? Why is this a thing?
Welcome to the party, pal.
Steph, Onion Mayor Sr.
Yeah, I don't have to look cute for you.
Oh, no.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah! And Mike Mercadal.
I'm just glad I like vanilla, boring sex like this. I'm glad that the sex I enjoy won't get me killed.
That's how winning is done.
Hey, I'm Dave Chappelle, and this is What's Up, Bro.
Hey everybody, welcome to the What's Up Bro podcast. My name is Mike Valdes. With me as always is
Nery Saenz. You're coming a little hot.
I'm always a little hot. I'm always
a little hot, baby.
Little hot, baby. Technology. We're at the mercy of our robot overlords. Thank you everybody for joining us on the What's Up Bro podcast, the only podcast on all of the internet that truly asks the question, what's up, bro?
What's up, bro? Us and the Filipino Christian podcast.
God, I want to watch that podcast so bad. That's a deep cut WUBro reference.
Such a deep cut
reference. Thank you everybody for joining us. It is kind of a gloomy day here on the West Coast in California. I was promised sunshine and palm trees. That's why I left. And Nery, where are you today?
That's not why you left. That is not why you left. That is not why you left at all. First of all, I am in Coco Cay, the private island from one of the cruise lines in the Bahamas.
Yeah,
so technically it's a Bahamian island. But we're not gonna go and start this podcast off because to the audio listeners, if you are watching us on YouTube or any video format, you will be able to see that Mike is now we're twinning. We are
twinning.
Mike and I are like a before and after. It's like this is this is what it looks like when you insert like before you have the beard growth, and then this is after the beard growth. And Mike and I look we're twinning now. So
we're twinning now. I will say I did shave my head for the audio listener. I was always that person of like, if it looks bad, I'll shave it. But I never really see the top of my head, right? Like you don't, like most guys.
Nobody does.
Nobody does, right? And I would always tell my wife, I was like, you have to be my lifeguard. Chiquita, I was like, you gotta tell me when it looks bad. But she loves me, so her opinion doesn't count. Right?
Also, she's 1,000 feet shorter than you. Like she's like what is? How is she gonna be your lifeguard? She's like, from her perspective, your beard, the bottom of your beard looks nice. Like what does that mean?
Yeah. Also, all she sees is my neck and beard. But and so like I will tell you this. I went to Japan recently. I went on a trip to Japan. It was really fun, lovely, and during the trip, I went on a tour, and I'm much larger than everybody in Japan, and the trains are not built for me. So there was like a funny picture of me,
you're larger than everybody else in the United States too, by the way.
Not everybody
else, but
not everybody, but a lot of people.
You're above average,
I'm above average, which is that's what that means. And so I'm like hunched. There was like a really crowded train, and the guy took a picture of the top where I could get a night, and I was sweating, so all the hair stuck together, so I could really see right through the hair, through the hair to the scalp. And I was like, oh, and I realized I went from thinning to balding, and I registered it. I was like, yeah, it's thin, whatever, who cares? But I went from thinning to balding, and I was like, oh no.
Do you have that picture?
I do actually.
Because I will find you the picture of when that happened to me.
Where it was for you? Yeah.
Like I can literally pinpoint that moment and be like, oh, this is that moment. This is hold on.
Because one of the things is, well, look, we've both done it. It was more of an emotional journey than I realized it would be to shave it off, because at some point, like it's like crossing a line of okay, I have it there. It was like crossing a line of like, oh, I can no longer present as a youthful, like how I want to. I have to present with I have to play the cards I've been dealt. And that was like odd for me. It was kind of a weird moment. Let's see. Yes, here it is. Let me figure out how to save that.
And I texted you.
Yeah, I see it there.
And then you finish. You show your picture, then I'll tell a story before you show my picture, and I'll tell you the story of how I realized it. But it's So it was to, and I know this speaks to a certain audience member, a certain percentage of our audience, right? Where like, it's a big deal when you realize that something that you have come accustomed to or become accustomed to, something that you're used to seeing every day in the mirror, is not what it seems, and you're like, oh, this is, wait, what? That's me? That's what's going on? And some guys go through that with some people, not just guys, but some people go through that with weight.
It is true.
With some people go through that with weight, where they're like, I didn't realize I had gained so much weight. I didn't realize that's what I look like. I've had women tell me that when they had postpartum pictures, like that's what I look like. Like that's what you know, and they had that. But for men with hair, I was always that guy that said I would just shave it off, because my dad is bald, so I kind of saw. I knew it was gonna happen. Like I didn't, you know what I mean? But specifically, growing up as a fat kid, I had low self-esteem my entire life. Oddly enough, the one thing I could pinpoint in during my childhood, I mean even teens and 20s, that I could say, oh, that's one good positive thing was my hair. Like I'd be like, I have gray hair.
Yeah, thick
like,
hair.
I have thick hair. And I remember in 5th grade, the lunch lady asking me if my mom dyes my hair. And I didn't realize it then why she was asking me that. But the reason she was asking me is because my hair was so thick that it looked
black.
Too black. It looked too black. And like, that's, and she literally said, does your mom dye your hair? And I didn't know what that meant. I was like, I was in 5th grade. I was like,
why? Like, why would that? What? That's so weird.
Does my mom dye? What do you mean my mom is dead? Like, I didn't comprehend what dyeing hair was. And so it was so when it came time to shave it, I already had my hairline was already a 5 head. It was already a thing. So, but
I have the entradas. I have them coming up the side, and then you'll see. So yes, it is a thing that also happened to me with weight too. That when I really started getting into my like fitness, after I had always been a football player, and then when I stopped playing football in high school and like in the college ages, and then in like after a minute, I remember seeing pictures of myself at Christmas, and I'm like, oh, I'm not a big guy. I moved from being big to fat, right? Like it was
you were fuerte. You were fuerte.
Now the tipo fuerte diminished into gordito, you know, like gordito, you know, like that's I went from fuerte to
Miami. That's such a Miami Hispanic fucking. If you're not from Miami, you're not gonna get that. That's so funny.
Where they started calling me flaco, I was like, hey, wait a minute.
Oh, whoa, that's a big deal.
That's a big deal. Because at some point you realize that is a lot, like it is a transition, right? So like that I now no longer can deny that sort of thing. So in the same, and then I've started a journey in the same way. I had always been thinning, you know, or I'd been thinning for like 10 years where it was like going, but it was still like I had this, and I was like, yeah, whatever, you know, style the hair differently, whatever, blah, blah, blah. My dad has a fucking thick ass head of hair. Oh, speaking of, Yolanda in the chat from my family, who can testify, bald is actually beautiful. Thank you. But my dad is not bald at all. Like he's got he's your childhood.
Your dad's not beautiful. That's
my dad's not beautiful.
Words.
He's just
Yolanda's words, not mine. I don't know.
By the transitive, you know, if this equals that, those two things also equal each other. But I genuinely was like, yeah, I'm thinning, whatever. I'll shave it when it's time. And I never reached the point mentally where I had been a little wild. That's like, maybe it's at that time. Maybe it's at that time. And then, do you want me to show my picture first?
Yeah, yeah. Show your picture.
Okay.
Yeah, show your picture.
So this was the picture, and you can see like,
oh yeah.
I had a unicorn horn. I had the island, and I'm like, oh no, that's just not going to work for me. And I reached it was that epiphany of like, no, this is I've crossed that line for myself at all. You know, I don't at this point. I don't care if my wife thinks it's hot. I'm like, ooh, no, thank you. I don't want to walk around with that sort of
stuff.
And it took this picture of this trip, and when I got back, I was going to share it. And it is kind of an emotional thing of like, okay, now this is, unless I go to Turkey and start getting plugs or commit to a hair system that is a toupee. Right. Those toupee again, no shame in it. There should not be any shame in it, but there's a stigma in guys in guys doing stuff to try and keep their hair. Like people make fun of that going to Turkey shit all the time, but it's like
we run in different. Our algorithms are different because the algorithms that I run in, I don't have people making fun of that. I have people going like, hey,
less now. I'll say
how much money does it take to go to Turkey? That's the algorithm that I, at least the algorithm that I get.
How much was it? So just out of curiosity.
I have a friend who did the process last year. It's been exactly now 13 months, and I know this because he posts updates all the time.
Oh wow.
And he posts updates all the time, and he does a complete breakdown of how much everything cost him, and it cost him $3,000. Wow. It cost him $3,000. It was like $3,500 for everything. He did use miles, so he did have miles on his flights. So he did use some miles. So it'd probably be a little bit more expensive if you don't have that available to you. But that's really what he paid for, and it looks fucking amazing and awesome. I mean, honestly, the thought process is there. The thought is in the back of my mind, and I've been thinking about it for years. Only because I recently had this conversation with a fat guy. Because he was talking about my weight. He was talking, and then it's important.
I just like how you phrased it.
It's important.
Why'd you throw that in there?
It's an important detail. It's an important detail. It's an important detail.
I was recently having a conversation with a fat guy. Like you effed that fat real hard.
It's an important detail, and here's why. Because he was talking to me about my weight loss, and I was talking to him about, I was talking to him. He was asking me questions about my weight loss, and then he asked me about loose skin. And I go, yeah, man, I have loose skin. There's like, my belly, I have this loose skin that's never gonna go away unless it's surgically removed. I'm like the blah, 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 and all stuff there. And he's asked me, would I ever consider that? And my wife asked me the same thing, maybe like 8 months ago. She said, would you ever consider doing the loose skin surgery thing? And I said, maybe, but if I'm being honest with you, at the top of my list, as far as cosmetic surgery, really hair transplant would be like number one on my list with a bullet. Like that, I would do that before doing anything else. And then so I said that to this guy, this fat guy, and then he laughed. Like he literally. No, I'm not gonna stop saying it. You know why? Because he literally laughed in my face, Mike.
No. Genuinely, fuck that guy.
Yeah, he was like laughed in my face, and I'm like, what's so funny? He was like, you care about that? And by the way, he's also bald. And then he said, you care about that? I'm like, well, yeah.
This bald fat fuck was tough.
But I loved my hair. And here's the thing: a lot of people say this all the time. People are like, "Oh, you have a good bald head, and you look good bald." I'm not disagreeing with that, and I'm not saying this to be conceited. There are two statements that I'm gonna make. One, I like the way I look bald. I legitimately like the way I look bald. I think I look good bald. Like end statement. Like that's stop point. Separate from that, fuck, do I miss my hair? Like I miss my hair, bro. Like those two statements can be true. Like I'm not saying I look bad. I'm not saying oh my God, I look awful. I'm just saying I miss my fucking hair. And if I was gonna have cosmetic surgery, first on my list would probably be if I had the money for it, like if I had the excess amount of money to be spending on surgery, I would go with that. And he laughed in my face. He was like, bro, who cares if you're bald, bro? You got to get rid of the skin and blah, blah. And I go, yeah, it doesn't really bother me. I kind of wear it like a badge of honor, to be honest with you. Like, this is how much this is more like, that's the way I treat it. And and I'm not saying that I'm not self-conscious about it at all, but I'm not self-conscious enough about it. And
Yes.
I say all of that, and then he was like, "You say that until you go into a pool." And I'm like, I was just at a pool with my family the other day. Again, the people that I care about, the way I look,
Don't care.
the people that
I think
it's,
that's
you
a
know.
key element of what's going on here, where it's like everyone's trying. This is a current social media thing that drives me fucking crazy, where someone will say something that is so hyper specific to them, and they'll say, "Hey, nobody wants to see that," or "Hey, everybody is this." Like, don't put me in that group. You're talking about you. Just be vulnerable. Say the thing that you care about. Don't make it about us.
You know what? You know what that reminds me of? You know what that reminds me of? 1,000 years ago. There's a very local reference, but you'll get it. You'll get the point. 1,000 years ago at Hot Wheels, there was a sign on the door of the DJ booth that said, "These are the rules for asking for a song."
Yeah.
And then one of the rules I remember specifically says, don't say things like, "Everybody wants to hear this." You haven't gone around and talked to everybody. You haven't taken a poll of what everybody wants. Just say you want to hear this song. And it makes perfect sense. All right. For those of you who are not from the South Florida area, Hot Wheels was a roller rink in the 80s and 90s.
1,000 years ago.
1,000 years ago. But my whole point is that same thing, right? Like, don't be saying nobody wants to see this. Just say you are very specific about this thing. I will say this though,
why is nobody talking about, or like there's all these things of like, hey, just talk. You just say the thing. You don't have to just say, hey, I want to talk about KEVIN HART Roast or whatever,
Yeah. But I did this. I will say this though, there are times now, ever since I had that conversation with that fat guy like 6 months ago, and I'm gonna continue saying it. I don't care. Fuck him. But I will say this though, there are times now where I've taken a picture of me on stage, where there's pictures of me on stage, and I could see the bottom like skin, my bottom, like my little belly thing. Again, it's hard to say belly because it's just literally loose skin.
Yeah.
And you could just see the little bumps of the stomach where everything else looks great, and then you get to the bottom where that's just where the skin is. And again,
you see where the skin is.
And I did not know this until recently. I follow a couple of local South Florida plastic surgeons follow me.
Sure.
And they have very interesting videos, like educational, like this. And in one of them, they talked about this lady who's having a tummy tuck. And for some reason, I did not associate tummy tuck with skin removal. Like the phrase skin removal, I just thought was but it is a skin. I didn't associate those two.
Yeah.
So I just thought, tummy tuck is something. Tummy tuck I just thought was something that women get, and I didn't realize, no, that's just a cute way of saying skin removal. I did not realize this until I was watching this guy talk about it, this surgeon talk about it, and he says, so like he had the lady right from the neck to the and he's like, this is right. He said this is a perfect candidate for a tummy tuck, because she's lost a lot of weight. She goes to the gym constantly. She works out. Like, I could feel her abs. I could feel her muscles. But she has this, and he grabbed onto her little belly fat, and I was like, that's what I have. And then he said, the doctor in the video said, no amount of working out is going to get rid of this. She's already doing her job. Her job is already like working out, and this is excess fat that is never going to go away by exercise. It's never going to go away by surgery.
Skin.
Excess skin, right? It's skin and fat. It's like the fat build up. But so anyway, so he was giving this educational like TikTok, for lack of a better phrase, and I'm like, oh, I thought for some reason I associated skin removal with like full body skin removal.
When you see like my 600-pound life or whatever,
that's
that they
when
cut
you
the
see
arms,
people with,
they do,
yes. That's what I associated with skin removal, quote unquote skin removal. So when my wife asked me a year ago, would you ever consider skin removal? I was like, not really. I'm like, I'd go with a hair transplant before I go with that. I did not associate, this little belly thing, if you get rid of that, that's also considered skin removal. I did not know that.
Yeah.
So I was like,
I've had
that I'll do.
Again,
I was like, I'll do that. I'm down for the tummy tuck. I'm down for that.
I'll do a tummy tuck. I'll tuck a little tummy.
Yeah.
I had friends that have done it, and again, working in healthcare, like people talk, like that's the thing. When you work in the ER or you work like people talk about their like shit. Like there's fewer boundaries to conversation when you're already dealing with super heightened things. So like when people are like talking about their dating life, and it was like you too much, where you're just like, I don't need to know this about you. But one of them was knew someone who had what they call a body lift, where they go all the way around.
Right.
They go all the way around, and then they kind of like, and basically what they do is they cut out the middle, and they just connect the bottom to the top, and they have to remove the belly. They move the belly button, like all this stuff. Yeah. What you're left with is the potential for a very large scar. You know, that's the thing, is that it's, you know, so it's this toss up of like, even if you do the plugs, like if you go around the back and they take hair from the back, there's a scar there. And it's when you grow your hair back out, which is ultimately the goal, you will cover the scar. But that's also like everything is a give and take, right? Like if you get a breast implant surgery, breast augmentation.
Can you imagine a guy getting a scar in the back, and then he's like, I'm going to cover it up with a ponytail, and you're like, you did all that to get a ponytail?
Yeah. Like, wait, man, you man bunned your hair transplant? How dare you disrespect those that suffered before you to man bun your hair transplant?
Or he gets a mullet, or they do a mullet, or he gets a mullet, like he does a mullet. Like, you did all of that to get a mullet?
Okay, I will say this: I recently watched this movie called Black Rain from the '80s, which is because I went to Japan. I was like,
Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas's mullet in Black Rain is majestic. His '80s mullet is great. If I could have Michael Douglas's mullet from the '80s, I would be rocking that shit constantly. That shit here's
the thing. Okay, so if you gave me the choice, hey, stay bald or have a mullet, but again, it's not just a mullet. You also have to have the top, right? It has to have the full thing. It can't just be the mullet. Yeah, if those are the only two choices, I would have a mullet over being bald. Yes, but also, if I'm gonna go, if I'm gonna have surgery and go through the pain and financial situation of surgery, I'm not gonna just go through all of that for a mullet. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I will say this: I would make it so because I'm new to this. I'm having to embrace the look, and I have to like think about what I'm gonna do. Like now, and everyone is saying that I should be doing this cosplay. Hold on. This is the one thing that I've been getting a lot because of the beard, where they're like, oh, you should go full Kratos, you have to do it. And I'm like, oh no, if I do this look, much like the Michael Douglas mullet, you have to style it accordingly and wear leather jackets and shit, like it's the 80s. Like that Black Rain Michael Douglas. I would now have to go to the gym. Like my gym goals is now Kratos. Are you fucking kidding me? That's so hard.
A literal god. A literal god.
A literal god. They're like, you should cosplay Kratos, and I'm like, do you have any idea what you've committed me to?
I love the fact that they were like, you know what you should do? You should cosplay Gerard Butler from 300. It's like, word?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The guy who digitally put abs on. And they're like, come on. Look at the bar you've set is a little too high.
I had this idea. My brother went to Comic-Con one year, and he said that he saw a group of guys. It was like 4 or 5 super in shape guys that they went as Spartans. They went as the 300 guys. Yeah. And he sent me pictures, and this is 1,000 years ago when I was super fat, and I was like, I would love to have been there to be able to just infiltrate that group. You know what I mean? Just follow them around, because I'm not really part of that group. I'm not pretty, but just be the guy like that takes his shirt off and it's like coming around and like, hey man, we're trying to do a thing here. And I'm like, yeah, I'm with you guys.
Yeah, right. I love that movie.
I love that movie. And then they're like, no, but we have abs and we have. I'm like, no. I would have loved to have been that guy, just following him around, right? And then I would have been the Quasimodo dude. I would have been that dude. I would have been the
yeah. Dale Tease or whatever his name is.
You're like,
he's not with us.
Yeah, he's not with us. He just takes the bodies away in after the battle.
Like,
he's not with us.
Like someone's like, oh, can I take a picture of all of you guys? And they're like, he's not. How do I?
So you went through a journey with your hair. I never went through that journey emotionally, as far as once I shaved. Once I shaved, I was like, oh, okay, this is better than. Cause I had mentally prepared myself for a year, because again, my dad is bald, so I just kind of figured that was gonna happen.
My head is not as smooth as yours.
Shocking. Yeah, but again, you're 7 feet tall, bro. Ain't nobody gonna be on top of you like that. And so, so my wife and I took engagement pictures, right?
Okay.
And then there was a picture from the front that looked beautiful and amazing. That we're on the beach. It's very, very hacky jeans, no shoes, on the sand.
Yeah.
But the picture, one of the pictures that I did not send you was from the front, and you go, "Oh, that's an amazing picture, and it looks beautiful." And then the same moment, the photographer went around us and took a picture from behind us where we're looking out into the ocean, and that's the picture that I sent you, and that's the picture that I go, "Oh, what the fuck?"
No.
I literally said, "Who is that?" I'm not exaggerating. I'm not trying to be funny.
Get out.
I
Okay, so we have to show the picture now.
Yeah. So zoom in.
It's
Can you zoom
not-
into that?
I don't know if I can. Let me do it this way. The idea of, we'll say, discovering the bald spot is a journey.
Yeah.
Discovering the bald spot
I
is
literally said,
definitely a journey.
"What the fuck?" I thought it was a photo thing. I thought it was like, did she fuck up the picture? That was because it was done by a professional.
Yeah, it was her
photographer.
fault. It was the photographer's fault.
And I wasn't blaming. I was asking. I was like, "Is that like a stylish thing that she's doing? Is that like a lighting issue? Is that like?" I asked all of these questions before I was like, and then I had to go back and forth between the picture before where it's us and face, the camera facing us, and then us, and I was like, "Wait, what now?" And it was a very like, eye-opening moment. Like, okay, I can't. Yeah.
There's your beautiful wife.
Yeah.
And then this is.
Yeah, and
you thought that was a lighting issue.
I thought that was a lighting issue. I thought let me rephrase that. I was hoping that was a lighting issue.
It was a wish and a prayer.
A wish and a prayer, and I was like, "That looks atrocious. That looks bad." So then that was it. And after that, I just shaved my head. I was like, "It's over. It's over."
Yeah, I
did do the thing where I had a buzz cut where I got like a 1 all the way around. Like maybe I could do that. So I did the buzz cut for like a month, and then I saw myself on some like local DJ's feed. I was doing a local radio show in Miami, and I saw he had a local feed. So while I was in the studio, I was looking at the top of my head while I had a buzz cut, and you can still see the difference between the buzz cut and I was like,
I'm at that. You can see it now with me that this has grown out a couple of days, but it's also like this is my look now. I have to embrace this sort of thing.
I did.
Look,
it's
Hilda
fine.
says,
"It look good, man. You look good, dude."
I like the new look, friend. Miss you guys. We miss you too, Hilda. Love you. Hope you're doing great.
Don't speak for me. Don't speak for me.
Let's not. Let's not.
Yeah, miss. That's a hard word. That's a big word.
But the idea of like, this is the look now. But it's also not how I like. I've had look. And to be fair, and this is not a brag, I've received nothing but kind compliments, like kind words of like, "Yeah, it looks great, it looks good," and I'm like, "Great, yeah." But it's one of those things where, like, how if someone's skinny and they're trying to put on weight, and then people don't know that, and they're like, "Oh my God, you look great, you look so thin," and you're like, "Oh, that's not the thing I'm looking for."
Yeah, that's
I'm
not the
sure
goal.
you're saying you think that's not my goal. Like the same way where you're talking about, I'd rather have the hair transplant than the stomach surgery.
Sure.
That it's like, yeah, because that's what I'm looking for. That's what I want. That's my preference. For me, my preference would be to have Michael Douglas's mullet from Black Rain. I would love to have a Brendan Fraser
if you can have
anybody's
hair. If you can have anybody's hair.
You want to know what? I had Slash's hair. My hair was
I'm not asking
curly.
what you had. I'm asking you if you could have your wish list. If there was an entity, I don't want to say God because I know you don't believe, but if there was a deity, if there was a genie,
the God of hair,
a genie, and they said, "I will grant you one wish, but you will forever have this." Okay, whose hair would you want to have?
The dude from Stranger Things.
Which dude? I don't know.
Joe Keery from Stranger Things.
Okay.
Hold on. The Steve, the guy, the one with the hair.
Okay. I haven't watched Stranger Things in like 2 or 3 seasons, so I don't even.
This is never this picture. Here we go. This guy.
That's
Look
the hair you
at
want.
that head of hair. Look
That's
at
the head of hair you have.
it's kind of like the mullet. Kind of like the no, but he just has like thick hair. It's a fucking mullet.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't know who that is. But the idea of like a thick head of hair but I guess it's like if you're saying I'm stuck with a hairstyle, then that's
not a hairstyle, just somebody's hair.
That guy's hair.
Your wish
enough to do whatever you want.
Your wish list is like, hey man, I want this guy's hair. I would go with Brad Pitt in Legends of the Fall.
I mean, yeah.
Jesus
like
Christ,
I just
man.
said. I mean, Brendan Fraser and Encino Man.
If there's a genie, you shoot for the top. You don't fucking shoot for the middle. You shoot for the fucking. You go all out. You go for the GOAT. Like that's it, man. It's such a.
It's pretty great. There's also, he might be hiding behind a little bit of the. Come on, I hate the pop up. I just want to see the picture. At this point, I'll take any one of these guys, but I kind of already have one of them in Airheads. Steve Buscemi has great hair. Look at Steve Buscemi's hair and Brendan Fraser's hair.
He used to.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is that if I get to the point where I'm shaving my head,
Empire. I've seen Boardwalk Empire. He doesn't have that hair anymore.
But to be fair, like if I had like Dave Grohl hair, like Dave Grohl's mop of hair would be dope. But it's also just that idea.
You like the curly, huh? You like the curly? You like that? You like the?
This is the thing, man. When I was young, I hated how thick and curly my hair was. It's like the fucking you don't know what you got till it's gone. Because when I was young, I wanted the mushroom haircut, the 90s.
Oh, right. I remember.
Right? Everybody had the hair curtains. Everybody had that, and I couldn't because my hair was so curly. It'd go whooping.
My wife called that the facha hair. Like facha. Like she says, it's just like you gotta.
It's always kind of in your face. It's so 90s. And I wanted the like that haircut, but my hair was curly. Where if I would have let it grow out, it would have been like Slash from Guns N' Roses. Like I genuinely had a lot of curly hair. And now I think back on it, I'm like, you fool. I'm like the meme of Matthew McConaughey in Interstellar yelling through the past.
Yeah.
Like, nah. Like you don't like look, do it, grow it, respect, you love it. That's what I would have done.
Well, that's what I do with my I do that now with my son's hair. Like anything that he wants to get done, I'm like, do it. I'm like, when he was a baby, a toddler, he had the mohawk. He had a flat out mohawk, and everything. I'm like, you want to dye your hair? Do whatever you want, buddy. Because I know he's running on a clock. I know that he has a clock ticking. So I'm like, whatever you want to do with your hair, do it now. Do whatever you want to do, man. Have at it.
Yeah.
Like you want to grow it out, you want to do this and that, you want to do the stupid broccoli haircut that everybody has now, that all the kids have. Have at it, bro.
Yeah,
be a little broccoli boy. I don't give a shit. Do that. Like it's just,
At what point, like again, because it's like dye whatever. I would say style it however you want. I would stay with dye. You want to dye it, sure, fine. It'll grow back out. But it's also that thing of like, look how you want to look. That's the part that I had an emotional journey with. Is I can no longer look how I want to look. I have to deal with the hand that's been dealt to me, and I'm embracing it now. My wife said something yesterday where she's like, I was like, talking about like I gotta shave it again. I don't even shave my face every day. Like I've never shaved, so now I have to shave a part of me every day. I'm like, ugh. And she was like, well, look at it this way: you get to shave your head every day. But if you can't fix this, what's second on the list of things that need fixing on your body? And I'm like, you asshole. How dare you call me out so aggressively with me focused on this thing? And like, there's other stuff that I could actually fix.
Yeah.
Just rude. How dare
So
you?
Your answer was your asshole. You got to fix your asshole. That was your answer.
I guess. First of all, what my hemorrhoids and me have to go through is none of your fucking. But my emotional support hemorrhoids. No. But my body, like the gym, becoming the God of War, becoming Kratos. It's like, all right, I do have control over that. Much too much. Like it's like all excuses have been removed. Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, the bald thing never really bothered me, but I get it. I get that was
Yeah.
that's a thing for and I was talking to my friend Don Gray, who he's bald, and he went through it very early on in his life. He went through it in his late teens, and he finally shaved his head in his early 20s. So he went through it very early on. So he was able to cope with it easier because he didn't have a lifetime, you know what I mean? It wasn't really like a
Yeah.
long time with his hair. Um yeah, man, some people go through it. I get it. I get it. You know,
Yeah.
you got to do what you got to do.
It
All of this
is-
is to
it is
say,
true.
if you are a plastic surgeon and you are willing to sponsor me for a tummy tuck, I would be more than happy.
Yeah,
to
tummy tuck for
do it.
sure. If you want to fly me out to Turkey and get me my plugs, I just don't care enough to spend the money on it anymore. You know, like I don't care.
The problem with the hair transplant for me is the recovery time. Like
Yeah.
I gotta go on stage, and it's gonna be a weird, like, don't look at the head, listen
have a
to the
like,
words. Yeah,
you have to do a turban.
Don't look at this. Just listen to the funny words coming out of my mouth. I'm gonna talk as if this is not happening up here. Like that's
We're gonna have an eyes closed comedy show. We're gonna have eyes closed, lights out. That's it.
Yeah, so that's a weird. That to me is what I think is gonna be would be a weird transition if I ever do that. It would be like, how am I gonna do comedy for the first like month? Does that mean I'm gonna not do comedy for a month because your head swells up? Your head swells up,
and you get all the blood. It's like healing. So there's lots of surgery, right? Little microsurgery. So there's like a lot of little scabs and stuff. If we do get hair, Nery, you and I, we have to commit because we got to be like my dad. Yolanda says my dad had a mullet and his Speedo in the 80s. That is 100% the look that we would then have to adopt. The Michael Douglas mullet and Speedos, and we could be the most
Michael
Miami
Douglas
80s.
have the best mullet? Does he have the best mullet?
We submit it to you, viewer. If you think of a better mullet, send it to us at WUBro
Joe Dirt has a mullet.
It's a wig. He has a wig.
I hate to break it to you, but Michael Douglas probably had a wig too. I hate to break it to you.
No, but in the movie itself, Joe Dirt literally had a mullet.
I know.
It grew fused to his skull or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, truth be told, it was a journey, but we spent way too much time talking about my fucking scalp right now at this point. But it is
it's not
an ongoing
your
process.
scalp specifically. It is a fact of life that people have to go through. You know, like Peter Brady said, changes.
Change.
Talk about deep cut. Talk about deep cut.
Yeah, no. Hot Wheels DJ booth request, because I knew a guy who worked at the DJ booth in Hot Wheels.
It's called DJ. What's his name? Oh fuck, I forget his name now.
Yeah.
From Power 96. He
DJ Laz, DJ Zog.
No, Zog used to be the DJ at Hot Wheels, and so did DJ Irie from the Miami Heat.
Yeah, but that's the thing is that that was like a readily available, like people that, man. Let's talk about the Hot Wheels. Like we should do like a full deep dive episode of like Hot Wheels, and
they're technically still up. It's
called Super Wheels now, right?
Yeah. No, it's another one now. Super Wheels closed down, but they reopened another. It's now back to it. It's not a corporation. It's a family-owned business now that they opened up. What used to be Hot Wheels, what used to be Super Wheels, and I forget what it's called now, but it's up now, and they have like Freestyle Fridays, and they have this whole thing, and I'm just never in town.
Ooh, that's so fun. That sounds awesome.
Can I just tell you the last time I went roller skating was 4 years ago. This is right after COVID, right when they reopened.
Things started reopening.
We went there, and the whole time, Mike, I'm not a good skater. In fact, I've never been on inline skates. I've always done quads, and I'm not a good skater on quads. So just to show you, I'm actually a decent skater, but I can't turn. I don't know how to turn. Let me rephrase that. I do know how to turn. I know you have to put one foot like that on top of the other one, over the other one, but I just scared to do that. So I end up doing the
the roller skating equivalent of dog paddling.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I always knew. So the whole day we were like, hey, we're gonna go out Friday. We're gonna go blah blah blah. So the whole day of us going to this roller skating rink, I told myself, you're gonna fall, just be prepared for that. You're gonna fall. Like just mentally prepare yourself for the fact that you're gonna fall. You're gonna fall. Okay. So here's the thing. So I ended up falling, of course. I ended up falling, and all my friends rushed over to me. Hey man, are you okay? I'm like, dude, I'm fine. Relax. Are you sure? Take it easy. And I'm like, dude, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't bad at all. Like I was. What are you talking about? And then my friend David, from formerly of the Mount Geekmo podcast, he's on Shiver. Check out Shiver podcast for the horror movies. He literally he came over to me. He goes, dude, you were having convulsions. I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, I saw you convulsing. I saw you having tremors. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then I realized, holy shit, when I fell, I'm on the floor. I literally said to myself, okay, you knew you were gonna fall. You fell. It's not that bad. So for the audio listener, I'm literally on the floor and I'm talking to myself. But as I'm verbally talking to myself, I'm having hand motions and conversations. I'm like, hey, you knew you were gonna fall. You fell. It wasn't that bad. It doesn't even hurt. So you could just get back up now. So I was talking to myself, and other people just saw me having these hand movements.
Wow.
And it looked like Tua in Cincinnati, where it's just like, oh yeah, it just. And I'm like, no, but I none of that was real. All of that was just me telling myself, hey man, you knew you were gonna fall, you fell, and you're good, you're fine. And that's what it looked like. So I looked like I was convulsing. So that's the last time I went skating. That's the last time I went skating.
This is Nery's dream. Nery's dream is to just be like cruising with the homies, dude. Look how fun that looks, bro.
I want to do that
fun. It looks so fun. Cruising with the homies, crossing legs in front of each other on the quads.
Oh my god, I would
look
love
at
that.
how bald they are. This looks so fun, dude.
Oh
we gotta
my
go
god,
cruising with the homies.
Put a freestyle song behind that. We are here to have some fun.
Wow,
we
dude.
are here. That's the dream. They're living the dream.
Yeah. No, then we get fancy. We'll build up too much, and then there's Man Bun doing some shit. Yeah. Now this is you do it too much. You do it too much.
I don't know if he's doing too much. I think he's doing just the right amount. I think it's.
You think he's doing just all right?
I think he's doing just the right amount. When you do too much is when you bring in another dude. Like when you have two dudes who do too much and they go under the legs and shit like that. They go underneath each other's legs. That's when you do too much. That's when you go, okay, let's take it easy with that.
This looks fun as hell, dude.
It does look fun.
Let's go, bro. This is great.
Looks like fun.
Come on.
Yeah, you kids can't tell me that's fun. That's fun,
dude. I do. You know what? We were talking about it before. Are we going to abandon everything that we were going to talk about today? We wanted to talk about the Kevin Hart roast. We wanted to talk about this all-female expendables thing.
Did you watch the Kevin Hart roast?
I did not. I only see shit through clips now because I genuinely don't want to see. I'm not a roast guy. I really kind of put that aside. In New York, when I was there was the culture at the end, like right before COVID. There was it was just too much roasting. It was very mean spirited, and I was always like, I get it. Like it's funny, like to be clever about it's clever comedy, right? I don't really know this person. I'm gonna roast the shit out of him. Roast.
Well,
in my opinion,
that's the problem. That's the problem because the original idea, like roasting, for those of you who don't know, they had a rule, and the rule is we only roast those that we love.
The ones we love, yeah.
Like that. That's supposed to be the rule. You're not supposed to have strangers at your roast. You're not supposed to have people who you've never met at your roast. It's like that's not the same thing because, as we all know, being dudes and being comics, when one of us is roasting another one in regular conversation, it's okay because we're friends and we know that's coming from a place of love.
I said it because I thought I would be funny.
Yeah, I said it because I thought you would think it's funny.
Exactly. Yeah.
You would think it's funny. I said it to you. Nery said it to Mike because I thought Mike would think it's funny, not because I'm trying to impress other people in the room. So I'm with you in on social media. There was a lot of this roast. Everybody was roasting each other on every open micer, every local open mic was having roast, and I was like, that's not the same thing that's happening. That's not what roasting is supposed to be. But I did watch the Kevin Hart roast, and I did watch the Tom Brady roast because for the most part, it does seem like those people do kind of know each other.
It does feel like they kind of know each other, but also it feels like the people who are good at roasting are good at roasting, but it could be like their cleverest joke, right? Like the Kevin Hart roast. This is from GQ. Was proof that celebrity roasts are cooked. They still generate ratings and sometimes even headlines, but GQ column and wonders if the enduring insult comedy format has outlived its entertainment value. I don't know if it's outlived its entertainment value because it's definitely like what is entertainment, but it's definitely outlived my desire to see it.
That article, that's just that article, that headline sounds very much like a hey, everybody's going one way, I'm gonna zag.
Oh, right, sure.
That's what that headline looks like. That headline looks like it literally even says it may get a lot of ratings, which is literally telling you that people like it.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
You're literally saying, hey, a lot of people like it, but I wonder, should I not like it? Like, oh, fuck off. Oh, fuck off. Like, now you're just writing that just to get the clicks on the opposite. You're literally doing the Stephen A. Smith. Whatever you say, I'm going to say the opposite, and I'm going to, fuck y'all.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not saying that you're not allowed. You're allowed to not like it, but that headline is literally saying, like, it may get a lot of views, but I don't know if it's outlived. Shut up.
I think
just say you don't like it. Just say you don't.
Just say you don't like it. That's true. Like, don't speak for everybody. Say you don't like it. But also, I think it goes to the better point of like, just because something has high ratings doesn't mean it's good. Sometimes something it's that idea of like, damn, I just had the thought where it's like
Dane Cook's quote. Dane Cook used to say that his dad would always say, nothing gathers a crowd more than a crowd.
Yes.
And I think that's a great way of saying it. Like, just because something has a lot of views doesn't mean it's good. It just means that a lot of people are watching it. But the thing with that is that if a lot of people are watching it, more people start watching it because, like, why is everybody else watching it?
Why is this popular? So again, just because it has ratings doesn't mean that it's good, because the ratings could also be the wrong kind of ratings, right? Like the same way Dave Chappelle always talked about, he quit the Chappelle show because the wrong people were laughing. Like that he was getting the wrong, like, also when if you've seen, it depends, but if you see a comedian, like when I was doing a lot of open mics, that they would just make the most crass and like edgy joke they could to get a response. It's like, hey, a groan is not a laugh. You know what I mean? Like a groan is not a laugh. So people, like, just because they watched, they reacted, but that's not a laugh. So just because people are watching doesn't mean it's the right kind of watch. It does get the attention, but I don't think the fucking people in charge of these things care anymore. They don't care about comedy. They care about eyeballs. They care about ratings. So is it comedy platform?
I think so. I'm not defending the Netflix in the sense of, like, I'm not saying that they're not a corporation. Obviously, they care about eyeballs. Eyeballs equals money. But I do think that they also care. I do think that there are people involved in that, such as Kevin Hart, that does care about the comedy, that does care about, and I believe that because he had guys like Big J Okerson, who is a popular comic amongst comics. But nationally, nobody knows who the fuck Big J Okerson is.
Not really.
Again, I know who Big J Okerson is. I'm a fan of Big J Okerson, but I'm a comedian. I'm a career comedian.
Yeah.
My wife doesn't know who the fuck Big J Okerson is, but she knows now. So if I believe that if people that were involved in the Kevin Hart roast didn't care about the comedy, then they wouldn't have people like Big J Okerson on. They wouldn't have. Cheryl Underwood is a legitimate. First of all, her fucking set was all fucking amazing. First of all, I know Cheryl from a long time ago. Cheryl and I are friends, or were friends. I was her opener for a long time whenever she went out to South Florida. She was very, very complimentary of me in my young comedian life when I was So she was very complimentary of me. She would always make me feel well, which she doesn't do to everybody, because the reason I started working with her is because she had another guy that we both know open for her, and she was like, this guy's trash, get him the fuck out of here, bring me somebody else. Like, that was, so she wasn't always like free with the compliments, but she was very nice to me. She was very complimentary to me. And on the roast, I say all of this, she's not known as a comedian nationwide. She's known as somebody who had a talk show, who had The View.
Yeah.
And she destroyed on that fucking roast. It was so good to see. Good for her. She was destroyed. Anyways, also, my whole point is,
what about the people that? So I'm reading on some of the comments where they're like, what made it hard to watch for some people, and then someone was like constantly mentioning that the jokes were written by others, and that they're only participating because of the money ruined a lot of it for me. But I did see the Chelsea Handler, right?
That's
Like,
so dumb. That's so dumb. I'm so sorry. But
why?
I love the
Why?
fact that people are like, comedians reminding me that they get paid for their craft really fucking took it
No,
out
no,
of me.
no.
Like, oh,
I,
fuck
I think
off.
I,
Fuck
well,
off.
I think there's a difference. No. I think there's a difference because I always talked about this in the show. Like, there's a difference between the show and then what's around. Like, if you're getting paid to perform the show as if it were a real roast that you wrote these jokes, like you're getting paid to do a job. You're not getting paid to do the job and be like, look at this, be self-referential. You're getting paid to roast this guy and tell these jokes. Right, like if you're up there on stage openly admitting that other people wrote your jokes for you, yes, we like subconsciously that we all know that the movie that Superman can't really fly and that Spider-Man can't really shoot webs. We all know that, but we have to suspend disbelief for this event, right? If you're constantly going up there and be like, "This is fake," like that's also that's also not a good job. Even if you're joking, even if you're good, and they were constantly talking about reading the teleprompter.
There is a fine line. I think if you are in the moment as a performer, if you're in the moment to be like, oh, that joke didn't do well, or this joke, oh, I knew that joke wasn't going to do well. I told my writers that joke wasn't going to do well. I think that's okay. And by the way, the references that were made to the writers were all usually references made by other comics about them. So they said something like, oh, keep it going. That's why he's the Roastmaster General. And all those jokes were written by the Roastmaster soldiers or whatever. Like the Roastmaster privates or whatever.
They were roasting it.
They were roasting the idea of they were roasting other performers, whatever the fuck. But
what people are saying is that it feels like that's also like it's like saying that the open mic was a great show. It's like, no, that's an open mic for other comedians are laughing at comedians.
I guess this is the perspective that I can no longer I can't even pretend to think about like how they see it, because as a professional comedian myself, I can't take off the goggles anymore. The goggles are already off. I can't put them back on anymore. Like I can't even remember a time where there's like, oh, what do you mean he gets paid? Like you know what I mean? Like those. It's just we have those conversations all the time. We're like, oh, you think that was real? Do you think that was real? And I'm like, no, fucking no, like nothing. Yeah. My wife does this all the time where we're listening to the radio and there's like, oh my God, I can't believe that guy got caught with the roses. I'm like, you think that's real? Like, it's just, like I don't have any verification that it's not real, but also I don't think I need verification that it's not real. Like I guess because being in the industry long enough, I remember watching an episode of what was that? LA Inc. Right? That was a show, LA Inc.
Yeah.
They had a scene where Kat was talking on the phone with another tattoo artist, and there was like drama building, and then the guy picks up the phone and is like, "Yeah, man, I'm not gonna be coming in today." She's like, "What do you mean you're not gonna be coming in today?" Whatever, blah blah. Like, yeah, I'm just not coming in. And I remember watching that show, and the show aired 1,000 years ago, and I remember watching that show, and I told my wife, I go, thank God there were cameras on both sides of that phone call, huh? While that phone call was happening.
Yeah.
The fuck out. We just happened to have cameras on the guy.
Well, that's the
making
thing,
the phone call. It's like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
We've gone from a point where everything probably. This is what we were talking about before. That we were talking about like technology, right? Like the new iPhone, the folding iPhone is going to come out, maybe. Is that enough for you to buy it? I was like, yeah, because it's finally something different.
Yes.
The last 20 phones, the only thing that's come out good is the camera.
Yes.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, we're all just smart.
Yeah. And
to be fair, I would buy this one because it's new. It's different, right? It's a different iPhone. Hold on. Everything else has been incrementally like smaller and smaller improvements that they have to sell to us. They have to sell to you that it's like, oh, it's a better camera. You can text emergency if you get into an emergency with a satellite. And I'm like, how often does that happen that becomes the sales pitch that you can satellite text, or like 9 times out of 10, the improvements that are made are in software, right? Like the software is cool because I'm using my phone as a webcam right now. That was a big deal for me. That was great. This is the best webcam I've ever had.
So this is kind of like the Madden thing. I don't know if you ever played Madden. I don't know if you were a gamer, But every year, Madden would just, for the most part, would just be. They used to call it, "Hey, are you getting the updated rosters?" Like
Yeah.
my friends and I would be like, "Hey, are you gonna get next year's roster?" Because you would the difference between Madden 2011 and Madden 2012 was just the players,
The
because
names, yeah.
there are new names in the league, and every so
Like you just
often you
copy
had,
paste a new
yeah,
Excel spreadsheet of the data. That's
yeah,
it. Like you didn't have to change the
and
graphics at all.
right, and every so often there would be a leap in, like, this year we have QB vision, this year we have the hit stick, this year we have the, but it wasn't every year. Those things that I'm mentioning were like 4 or 5 years apart from each other, so there wasn't a thing. And for, yeah, what you're describing is that.
So the point I'm trying to
But
make
with that
about
said, I had
the
Madden every year for fucking 12 years. So,
yeah. Where it's like, but with that said, that's the point I'm trying to make about all this stuff is that all of this is a these are all marketing products, right? Like these are
sure,
all so like when a young comedian gets a chance to do a roast in front of 10 million people, you know, like on Netflix in front of millions of people, you think they're going to say no? Of course not. Is it real? Of course not. When Real World came out on MTV, the first one, I was like, what a revolutionary thing. Then they start realizing that they can, we have to ramp up the activity. Suddenly, it's not reality TV, it's produced reality TV.
correct,
It's improvised
correct.
drama, it's edited. The same way when the LA Ink phone call happens, it's like, oh, isn't it convenient that the other guy was also on camera? Bullshit, right? So it becomes this thing. The same thing with social media. Social media became, social networking. It became social networking. Then once we started doing Instagram and pictures and videos and stuff, it became social media. Then at a certain point, everything becomes social marketing. I'm trying to sell
Marketing.
you something.
Yeah.
I'm no longer. I can social network with my phone, with my everything's connected. Create shared albums in my Photos app, send it to whoever. Everything now in social media is marketing. The same way,
first of all, hold on. I don't know if I agree with that, but in case you don't, or even if you do, check us out on YouTube and also on Spotify and also on Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast.
This is the
Luthen.
This is the speech the Luthen gives in Andor. I'm forced to use the tools of my enemy to kill them, to destroy them. Like I'm forced to. We are all kind of stuck in this system. And I think to my point, that they have to pitch these small incremental changes as these huge things because if we all pull out of the system, it all goes dead, right? So Netflix knows that they put a ton of money into paying these comedians to do stuff. If we all lose interest, they are going to fail, right? Like they lose it. So whenever they do these roasts, it's always like, okay, what's the new hit stick? What's the new roster? Because it's this, it's kind of the same shit, like it's literally just late night monologue jokes, but just directed at a person and very mean.
So here's what
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that.
No, here's what I would say about that. That's my issue. That was my issue with Tony Hinchcliffe, right? Because disclaimer.
I have an issue. I'll tell you about him.
Yeah, disclaimer. Fuck Tony Hinchcliffe. I don't like Tony Hinchcliffe at all. Fuck that guy. I don't like him at all. I will say his set was very good. His jokes were very good. And
who wrote him?
I don't know. And then I don't know. I'd be surprised if it was him because he's notoriously not funny. So it'd be very surprising if it was him. But I will say to Shay Gillis's point, which he was the host, he said after Tony Hinchcliffe got off, he said, man, that guy did so good. He goes, he had everybody wanted him to bomb, and he didn't. That's how good he did. And he was right. Me included. I'm at home hate watching at this point because I'm like, I hope this motherfucker bombs. I hate this guy. Fuck this guy. And I was like, oh, that was good. Yeah, that was good.
Again,
was good.
But did he write the jokes? That's the whole thing that bothers me.
I don't care if he wrote the joke. I don't care if he wrote the joke. This is what I do care about. He wrote a joke. He did a George Floyd joke, which in itself was a good joke. I'm defending the joke because it was a good joke. The problem that I have with that joke was that it had nothing to do with Kevin Hart. It had nothing to do with Kevin Hart. We are at a Kevin Hart roast, and it had nothing to do with Kevin Hart. You or your writers or I don't care. I don't care if you wrote it. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. You or your writers had that joke holstered. and you just wanted to shoot it off, and you just chose this moment, and good for you because it got millions of views or whatever. But my point is, that's my issue with that joke, is that it had nothing to do with Kevin Hart. Like, it had nothing to do with anybody on that stage. Like, you just had a George Floyd joke that you wanted to get off, and that's why. And coming from Tony Hinchcliffe, which is racist as fuck, that's what makes it racist. It's not that the joke itself is racist; it's that you used it even though there was no need to use it, because, again, a roast is supposed to be jokes about Kevin Hart, about the people on the dais.
It's like you're supposed to be friends. It's like you're supposed to be busting chops.
Yeah.
It's not like you're supposed to be like, again, it's marketing. Stop marketing your recovery after you're doing all your Trump shit. You know what I mean? Like you don't, or lean into it, whatever the fuck. Like all of these, like the one that stands out to me, and I do not like Chelsea Handler. I think she's not great, but she did that. I don't think she's funny, but she did. Now that your favorite, this is what she said. Now that your favorite leader is making the draft mandatory, I assume all of you will be signing up to go fight in the war in Iran. Or do you tough-talking pussies only go to the Middle East for comedy festivals? Right? Because of the Riyadh Comedy Festival. But that's not a joke. That's like a fuck you with a slant of like humor. Like, oh, you fucking pussies.
I don't know. Is that not a joke?
Well, it depends on if it's like, is the point of that to tell the joke, or is the point of that to call them out? Because you can use a joke to call somebody out.
Two things could be true.
Two things could be true. Two things could be true. I've been wrong before. I could be wrong again.
Two things could be true. I like Chelsea
true.
though. I do say that. I will say that my disclaimer to that, and I'll give a disclaimer to anything. Anytime we talk about any comedian, I'll give a disclaimer and be like, I'm not the biggest fan of this person. I'm not the biggest fan of that person. Like Mike just did with Chelsea. I like Chelsea. I think Chelsea's funny. Not to say that I agree with everything she says or agree with everything she thinks. I don't know all her beliefs about everything. So it's a very
I don't even know that
weird,
either. I'm just talking about of what I've seen of her material. I'm judging them based on their content. Yeah,
I like Chelsea, and I will say what I like about. Not only do I think she's funny, I've worked with her, I've met her in real life, and not only do I think she's funny, but I do like the fact that she gave a lot of, like,
that's fair,
people their start. Joe Coy got his start, got his big break from Chelsea. Michael Yo got his start from Chelsea. There's a lot of the guy Wolf, what I forget his name. He's a stand-up, and he got a start at Chelsea. Fortune is another stand-up comic that got her start. She got her start.
I like her a lot.
Not for me, but she got her start at Chelsea. She's doing really well in her career, and so I like the fact that Chelsea gave all these people starts, and it was like, oh, they weren't shit until they were on her show, and it was so I guess
there's a certain, again, these like when I was in New York doing comedy, and all of the opportunities were roasts. Like, they were like, when I was doing Zeros on Heroes, the Unsung Heroes live at the Creek, they were constantly like, oh, do you and Will want to come and roast battle each other? And I'm like, no, I don't want. That's not how I see my comedy developing.
Yeah.
But part of me is like, if I would have done it, would I have gotten more opportunities? And it's like, well, yeah, I feel like I missed out on some, but I did it on my terms, right? And granted, someone could be like, I stayed true to my ideals and I fucking missed out on opportunities. Or like, should I have done it in a way? You want to know what I would have done? Because what I wanted to do was, I didn't want to make fun of Will. I wanted to make fun of how stupid the roasting, these rant, like, because I knew Will. I wanted to make fun of the idea. So I wanted to get Katie, his wife, or I don't know if I should say this on the air, but I was like, if I would have done, this is what I would have done. I would have tried, or I would have. This
is like OJ writing that book.
Yeah, if I did it,
how I would have done it.
If I would have done it, this is how. But I just would have thought it would be very funny. And Will would, of course, would have been in on it. Everyone would have had to agree to this. I think it would have been very good, to where I would have let Will roast the shit out of me and not say anything in return, and then have his wife come up on stage, and I would just start making out with her. I'm like just to have Will react. I just wanted it to be like, no amount of words can. I wanted Will to react.
I
Yes!
just think you want to make
I
out with
wanted to
Katie.
fuck
I just
with
think you
the
want
people who
that
think it's
sounds
fun.
like that sounds like you want to make out with Katie. That does not
I
sound like
hadn't.
oh look
No.
fuck you system. That sounds more like I want to make out with your wife.
I had written a bunch of jokes. And then I was gonna say that basically that I wanted Katie to come and get divorced, like basically on stage, like basically like yeah. I figured this would be the best time to do it, and have Will play it real. Like what? What the fuck? We were supposed to be telling jokes. I wanted it to in my head. It wouldn't have come off as. There's no way it would have worked in the way that I wrote it in my head because it would have had to have been. Everybody would have had to get the fact that I'm like wanted to fuck with Will in a real way and not like a joke. Like I wanted to destroy. Like I wanted to be like and like I wanted to do like actual bad things to Will as part of it. Like this is what you fuckers want. You want like are you not entertained? Like I wanted to give them something real bad. You know, and I couldn't think of anything. Yeah,
that's a wild take. I've been part of one roast
because
I've been part of one roast, and the only reason I was part of that roast is because I had a gig in Marco Island, and that night they were like, "Oh, this show is going to be different. They're roasting the local radio hosts," and I'm like, "I don't know shit about these local radio hosts," and they're like, "Yeah, just be part of the roast," and like so they paid me. I was there to do stand-up, but that specific show, there was no stand-up show. It was a roast show. And it was the roast of the local radio shows. And I literally sat back. I literally sat and watched everybody else do their thing. And I wrote jokes on stage. And I went on stage and I roasted everybody from the context of what everybody else had talked about.
Right.
And I just did that. And not for nothing, but I got compliments from everybody, including the host. And the host was what's his name from Last Comic Standing, New York guy.
Doug Benson? No, he's California.
No, he's California. I forget his name. It's gonna come to me in a minute, but not important. But the point is, he's a tough New York comic who has been through a lot of roasts. And I on stage said, I've never roasted anybody. This is a weird thing because this is not really my cup of tea. And then I went into the whole Bubba the Love Sponge was one of the roasts. Was one of the radio guys. So
Holy
was one of the radio guys. There was two radio guys. One of them was Bubba the Love, and I was just like go on, and I just went off of what everybody else had talked about. I don't know these people. Like I don't know these people. I don't know what. And I just went blah blah blah, and I was like you know, and I did really well. Like I remember him saying up to me, like, that was your first time. Like he went on stage and he was like, "That's your first time ever roasting?" I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "Man, that was really fucking good, man." And I was like, I don't.
If you do it right, it's just joke writing. Like it's just like clever.
Yeah, but that's hard for me. You said that like it was like that's hard for me, bro. Like fuck you. I'm not a joke. I'm not a joke writer.
You're a storyteller. I know.
I'm a storyteller, dude. I'm not a joke writer. I'm not like a fucking. I'm like. But that was
just set up punchline.
It was super stressful
problem
for me.
with
it was super stressful for me, bro. I was on stage and I kept fucking being like, "Hey, I'm gonna go last. I don't want to." Like, I just kept buying time. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here, man.
Yeah. I've done that. I've done that. I had to do a show one time where it was like they had to do a call. It was like some conceptual thing where you did jokes based off of the last set. So you start your set off of the last person. Like you had to basically make jokes about the last person's set. Like
sure. You could do callbacks, right?
Essentially callbacks. Essentially callbacks. But it was basically like the point of it was your set is determined by the previous comedian in some way. And then there was another one where I had to do where people would write like a quick set list like of their jokes. And then put it in a hat, and then you pull it out, and you had to do a random set list. I'm an improv guy, so I've done improv, so it's not too big of a deal for me. But the immediately you're just like it activates different parts of your brain. So I'm sure when you were sitting there, you were like,
it's a different muscle.
Panic activates.
I was super stressed out. Like, well, okay, what the fuck do I? Because I didn't know these people. Again, I don't know. I want to reiterate the fact that I did not know these people.
And also, you're gonna say some shit like about their wife, you know, like me with fucking Will or whatever. Like something like, hey, I think you crossed the line.
Yeah, it's like you're probably right. Like I don't know why, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't know, man. Like it was a fun time. I will say that, but it was fun because of the stress that it was like all this fire, like this stress building, whatever. But that's the only time I've ever been part of a roast that I did not know I was gonna be part of. Like I showed up to do a stand-up show, and they're like, "You're gonna roast," and I'm like, "What the fuck? What's happening here? Nobody told you? Nobody told me." He's like, "Okay."
Yeah. The truth of the matter is that I personally, I'm sure there are plenty of people out there now, because comedy in the internet sense, because it's not real. Like people go to comedy shows that either they're chronically online and all they know is like the Joe Roganing of comedy, and I don't know if you saw the YouTube video of the Comedy Czar of that it's this YouTube video like really breaking down the whole Joe Rogan Austin comedy scene, comedy mothership, all that bullshit. That it really kind of broke down what people think of as comedy now. Like when people go see your shows, I'm sure that people are expecting, there's certain expectation that is different than maybe 10 years ago or 20 years ago, and as to what stand-up is supposed to look like. I've moved past it just emotionally of like, I don't want that secondhand embarrassment. Like I know how phony it is. So I know that everything that's going on, it feels like, and I'm just like, this is embarrassing. I'm not it doesn't feel good to watch. Some of the jokes,
What do you mean?
I will say.
What are you talking about specifically? What do you mean? Like you move past it? Move past what? Like just the what do you mean?
Basically, like all like Tony Hinchcliffe, right? Kill Tony is one of the most infuriating things in the world, because that motherfucker, he's like, oh, I've given a bunch of people opportunity. I've given a bunch of people. Are you paying them a cut of every show that these people are on? Is every open micer that you have come up and do a minute getting paid all of the money that you're getting from their fucking performance? All you do is sit there. Hold on. My union rep mentality, like the workers' rights, that motherfucker is making millions of dollars off of these rookies, these unpaid labor. Like it's literally unpaid. They volunteer, they sign their life away, and then they get on the show, and maybe they get an opportunity, and maybe they get
paid in exposure. You're getting paid in exposure.
Yeah. And that
so
guy,
you know how many times I've done a show where people go, "Oh man, you were fucking hilarious, dude. You should be on Tony Kills or Kill Tony. You should be on Kill Tony." And I was like, "No." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Like I just go okay, and I just move on. But I've had that comment, quote unquote, compliment after a show, because they think they say it as a compliment. "Oh, dude, you're fucking hilarious, bro. You should be on Kill Tony." Like that would make you famous. That would make. And I was like, I don't ever want to. I would pay to not be on that show.
I would rather not.
I would pay. Yeah. I would rather not, right? But I don't say any of that because I don't want to make it seem as if there's a thing. And I'm like, it's just whatever.
Well, but that's the problem, is that if you say something, you get accused of, oh, you're just a hater and all this stuff. It's like, no, man, that guy fucking steals labor.
No, but I am a hater. I hate that guy.
I hate that guy. It's like every Springer show in New York and LA.
Fuck that guy. I hate that guy. I have no problem with saying I'm a hater when I am a hater. Now, just because I tell you somebody's not funny, now I don't hate him, or let me rephrase that. I don't not think he's funny because I'm a hater. I hate that guy. Also, he's not funny. There are two separate comments.
Two separate things.
Two separate things. Two things can be true. And so when I say things like, I don't think Marlon Wayans is a funny stand-up, people are like, oh, you're a hater. I'm not a hater. I don't hate Marlon Wayans. I don't hate Marlon Wayans. I just don't think he's funny. And those are the problems that I have. Like, I have a problem when people go, oh, you don't like this guy, you're a hater. Like, well, no. I hate Tony Hinchcliffe, absolutely. Yeah. But I don't think Marlon Wayans is funny. I have no problems with Marlon Wayans. I just don't think he's funny. Like, that's it. That's all I think. And I don't think he's funny in stand-up, because he is really funny in movies. I just
I'm not a fan of his comedic actor. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a good
dramatic actor.
Yeah, he could. Yeah. So all of these things, the phrase hater is like, sometimes I'm a hater, but not always. Yeah, sometimes I really do hate that guy.
I do. Sometimes I hate that guy.
Very few times, but they could be reserved for Tony Hinchcliffe, the guy that wants ballrooms more than anything else. Anything else. That's why I hate people. Yeah.
To bring it back around, that I've moved past watching things that I've moved past hate watching things. I refuse to give it my attention. I hate.
Okay, that's a good statement. Yeah, that's good.
I refuse to hate watch anything. Like, oh,
I like the roast, man. I like the roast, man.
You have to watch this. It's so bad. I'm like, no, I don't want to watch something
that I won't subscribe to. I will never be like, you have to watch it. It's so bad. I don't like that at all. I've never liked that. I've never enjoyed hate watching. I've never enjoyed that. I will say I watched the roast because I liked the Tom Brady roast. I thought it was funny. And so I go, okay, let me watch this one. And I will say it was a funny roast. Now, did everybody do well? No, but it's a roast. Not everybody. No, there's never been a roast where everybody kills. There's never been a roast. Yeah. I don't give a fuck who you are. But So it started off slow. The roast started off slow, but as it progressed, I think there are people who did really, really well. The Rock fucking destroyed. I cackled
He's the
out loud.
Rock. He's going
No,
to.
he's the Rock. Dude. How many times Tom Brady went up first and he bombed fucking hard.
Who puts
He
Tom Brady up?
Because the whole point is like, oh, this was like the Tom Brady roast, but better. Fuck Tom Brady, and then Tom Brady comes out and is like, word, and then he does his fucking spiel and then leaves, right? And I hate when they do that. Those are cowards. Those are fucking cowards. I'm gonna do my set and then leave, so I don't have to be here and fucking be insulted. Like, nah, bitch. If you're gonna do a roast, be in the roast. And The Rock went on stage and fucking destroyed. Sure, Underwood destroyed. She did amazing. Who else? I don't think Kevin did well. Kevin went up last, and he ended up doing
Did he do a
stand-up
commercial in
set.
the middle of his set?
That was actually funny. That was actually
was
funny. That was actually
It
funny
feels
because
absurd to do that though.
well, that's why it was funny, because he was just like, because everybody was making fun of how much he sold out, and he started the set with saying like, hey, just saying to all my corporate sponsors and partners, just saying right now what you're gonna get is the hard ass stand up Kevin. So just let's take a break for a second, blah blah. And in the middle of roasting, he was like, and you'll never get better than Chevrolet, blah. And like, he was just, and that made it really. It's like it was ironic. It was really, that was funny. I'll give credit.
I just don't
that's
watch.
funny.
I'll watch the clips afterwards. I don't want to give
The
it my
Rock
attention.
was so funny, dude. He did this thing where The Rock was talking about like Kevin's dad and my dad. My dad, both our dads passed away recently, and we both had that. We have a connection. It's not just friendship. We have a deeper connection. We both our dads passed away. We had complicated relationships with both our dads. My dad was always like, trying to make money and lying and whatever. And Kevin's dad was a crackhead, an actual crackhead. And then they showed a picture of The Rock's dad, all muscular, being the fucking Rock's dad.
Yeah.
And then they showed a picture of Kevin's dad, and Kevin was like, what the fuck, dude? You couldn't make a better picture? It was so funny, the comparison, the side-by-side comparisons of both these men's fathers. And the fact that they used real pictures made it funnier. And then he was like, so Kevin's got to come a long way, blah, blah, and all stuff there. And he's like, but it's amazing to see, like, just like his dad, how much Kevin relies on The Rock.
Wow, that's a good fucking.
It's so good. It was so fucking good. Oh man, The Rock did well. Sure, Underwood. I can't underestimate how well Sure Underwood did. Chelsea did well too. And the people in the beginning had a harder time. And you as a comic, I would be interested to know your opinion as a comic, because I feel like the people in the beginning had a harder time because the room wasn't ready yet. Like the room wasn't warmed up yet, and it felt odd. It felt like awkward in the beginning. Like the first 2 or 3 comics that went up, including Chelsea, it felt like awkward. It felt like, okay, we're moving, but it's not fluid. It's not smooth. It's not like there's still moans and groans where there shouldn't be moans and groans, and there weren't laughter when there should have been laughter. So it felt kind of sticky. And then when it got rolling, it was like, oh, fuck it. Here we go, dude. Yes.
I hosted a show that was basically an improvised talk show, improvised panel show for 3 years, right? Every week, right? I did that shit, and each show was like 2.5 hours long. Like I did that. It's all, go to Zero Zone Heroes on Podbean. Look it up on your podcast. It's there. I did so many of those shows, and I will tell you, and I hosted, and I will tell you, hosting, you know this, hosting is an entirely different muscle than just totally different.
Every comedian, like every host is a comedian. Yes. Not every comedian can be a host.
Like that is it's such a true thing. A bad host can ruin a good comedian set an hour later.
Yeah.
So so what ends up happening is in these big venues and all that stuff, it's a fake show. It's not a real show. It's a TV show that they need to tell the audience, like, hey, you're a part of this. There's going to be an applause sign. There's going to be a groan. Like, you play the part. And if they don't warm up a room like that ahead of time to be like, hey, this is fake. This is not real. You're going to hear edgy shit. Everybody unclench your assholes. And your job the reason why you're here, the reason why we're not doing this in front of an empty studio where it's literally just jokes like the soup. Remember Talk Soup or the soup?
Right. Oh,
like the
good.
reason
So
why
good. Yeah.
I love that show. There's no audience. There's just you telling jokes. The reason why this is this show and that is that show is because you guys have to play your part. You
Correct.
have to play your part. If they don't tell the audience what to do, if they don't brace it, they're like, "Oh, get ready. It's going to be edgy." Everybody's just kind of like waiting. They don't want to be the first one to laugh. They don't want to be the one to be rude. They don't want to be like, "Ugh, I'm going to get on camera. The camera's going to turn. They're going to show me in the audience laughing at the wrong thing." You have to, like, you're actors just as much as these people are reading from a teleprompter, jokes that they did not write. You know what I mean? Like it's all a show. If they produced it like that, then maybe it would have been stronger from the beginning. But I don't think that's their goal. Also, it probably, like, some of the earlier people probably could have had good sets. Maybe their energy would have been better. Maybe they, you know, like you've seen people come up after a heckler. It's hard.
I get it. I get it. But I would be interested to see, to hear if my opinion, if my evaluation of that was accurate. It just felt weird in the beginning. And it's not to say that the comics or the jokes weren't strong in the beginning. It's just to say that, man, but once it got rolling, there was a good 40-minute chunk where I was laughing out loud by myself in my cabin, just cackling. It was so good. It was just joke after joke after joke after joke where it's just like, that's such a good one. That's such a good one. But again, it was in the later portion of the show. Yeah. And it's a long show. So, yeah.
Okay, oh, cool. There he is. Yeah. He was a fucking tank, you know? Now, whereas Kevin's dad...
the audience is genuinely...
Oh, you son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. What the fuck was that, man? Look. You piece of... I mean, come on, man. There's a better picture of my dad.
Okay. You're all right. Can you guys see my old man?
It's so good.
It is hard. Like,
and you know why? You know why The Rock did? You know why Rock did so well? Aside from he's The Rock, he's super charismatic and blah 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 whatever.
Yeah.
To both our points, but your point specifically earlier, because they're actual friends, and you can sense the fact
they know each other.
Sense the fact that there actually is love behind these fucking super mean, cruel jokes. There's love, and that's the difference, and that's why The Rock did so well. I mean, a reason, not the reason, but a reason why The Rock did so well. Anyways,
let's you know, like roast. I'm happy to talk about it. I'm happy to watch the clips later. There's something about it that I just can't. I'm not willing to dedicate 2 hours of watching that shit.
Yeah, I know you. No, you got a lot of things to do.
I got a lot of unemployment to take care of. I got a lot of being unemployed No. But it's I'm protecting my peace. I'm protecting my peace.
I love that so much.
You know how many times I can jerk off in the time?
I'm not willing to spend 2.5 hours watching. I'm like, okay, yeah. I mean, you got a lot of things. I guess. Just say you don't want to. I get that, but you're like, I'm not willing to dedicate the amount of time that I have because I have all the time in the
then
world.
Let me not use the word time. I'm not willing to dedicate that much just discomfort and like hate watch. I'm not here to. I don't want to watch.
I don't know why you would hate watch. I don't know why you would hate watch. I don't understand.
I wouldn't.
I guess that's what
I'm not
the
going
difference.
to. There are times when I would have watched.
I don't understand why. I don't understand why it would be hate watching. Is what I'm saying. Right? Why, do you just hate? You just hate roast, I guess. That's right.
It's for I don't like roast. It's also I don't like if I want to watch. Let me put it this way. I am no longer willing to watch something comedy related just because it's being talked. I don't want to be the crowd that was drawn by the crowd.
Sure.
And I have zero interest in it. I don't care. But I also don't feel like I should have to you want to know? I had more fun you telling me your opinion about the roasts and your favorite parts than I would have watching that thing for 2 hours.
I don't know if that's accurate. You don't know if that's accurate because you don't know how much fun you would have had watching the actual roast. You don't know because you didn't watch it.
I enjoyed this time we've had together.
Sure, this is a good time. I'm okay with somebody saying I don't want to watch the roast. That's fine. I'm okay with that. I that's fine. I just it's the same thing when somebody goes. Comedy is one of the things that you can't force people to do. You should. Let me rephrase that. You should not force people to watch. Yeah. You should not watch people. You should not force people to do comedy or watch comedy. It's like no. It doesn't work. It doesn't work if you don't want to be here. whether you're performing or watching, if you actually don't want, if I have to convince you to be here, it's not gonna work. It's not a thing. It's so I'm fully aware of people who are like, hey, you're not funny. Like, dude, you could walk out. You can leave. This is not for you, bro. Like, I am not here to be fucking like, I will prove you wrong. Like, I'm not that.
That's why,
out, please.
That's how,
please,
bro, I'm telling you, that's how I am with the internet now, with social media. Whenever I go, like, I've not gone into a helpful comment section in 4 years.
I've never got into, you do this all the time where I'll send you a link, I'll send you a video, and your immediate reply is about the comments. And I'm like, I never even looked at the comments. I literally just looked at the video. You and my wife do the same thing. You and my wife are like, oh my God, did you see the comments? And I'm like, I know. I just sent you the video
about people's commentary. I did watch the video. I will say this. You sent me some of the phoniest baloney shit that I'm like, Nery, are you kidding me, dude? Because it's just funny.
Because it's just fun. It's just fun. It's meant to be fun. It's not meant to be like, oh my God, I believe this. This is a documentary. It's just fucking fun. Like, I don't understand. It's such a weird thing when I hear, it's like when you hear kids talk about that. It's like when you ever hear kids talk about certain shit, or they talk about a movie and they'll be like, oh, that was fucking bullshit. Or that was fake. And you go, it's a movie. It's all bullshit.
Yeah.
It's all bullshit.
No.
It's all fake.
It's different if you go in knowing it's fake. Like, if look at the
I think the internet is fake. I treat the internet as entertainment.
Everything,
the internet is entertainment.
Sure. Okay,
it's all entertainment.
I will say I do have like an aversion to AI. Like, anytime I see something that's AI, I'm like, ugh. There's something about it.
You and my wife come back to me like, oh my God, that's so fake. I know that the bear wasn't really fucking shooting people with a gun, but it's funny. Just watch the fucking video. Like, why is this a thing? I don't understand. I've stopped sending you AI, clearly AI shit, because in my mind, because I'm like, man, he just has an aversion to having fun. Like, he just can't be entertained.
I would rather watch. No. I would rather watch somebody's homemade bullshit than something that somebody thinks because they typed into a thing and it's clever. Because again, every click on that video is money. Like, it's not about making a funny thing. It's about
it's entertaining. If you get paid for the entertaining thing the entertaining bullshit that you made, if you get paid for that, that's fine with me. It's entertaining. It entertained me for 30 seconds. I'm okay with it.
Fair enough, but that 30 seconds ate up like an entire city's water supply. You know, like
hopefully it's Flint's. I don't care. I don't like, none of that bothers me. This is the equivalent. This is the conversation. You and I have had this conversation before. It's like, it's the equivalent of people being like, oh my God, Amazon is an evil corporation. Yeah, bro, it absolutely is. I agree. I think it is an evil corporation. Also, can you hurry up with my I ordered that an hour ago. It's still not here. Can I get my shit? Like, I don't know what to tell you. iPhones, Apple is an evil corporation. I know. I'm talking to you right now from my fucking iPhone, and I'm gonna get the new one that comes out because it folds. Like, I just, all of these things are true. I'm not defending the evil corporations, but I'm also not gonna stop using the evil corporations.
I'm with you, and to a certain point, I will try my best to not enable that sort of thing. I didn't. You know, like, I stopped. I'm doing my
wife and I don't shop at Target anymore because they canceled DEI, and we think that's bullshit. That's something that's completely within your power.
Everybody does what they.
We have a standard. We have a standard, right? But as far as it's the same thing with AI, I'm like, I don't give a shit. It's AI. Yeah, it's the thing. I'm not John Henry. I'm not standing in front of the fucking train being like, thou shalt not pass. It's technology. It moves on. It's gonna move on without me. It's fine.
I will say, you know, I would not treat the people of Flint, Michigan as expendable. But speaking of expendables, what a segue machine!
In your segue, you made it seem like if I wanted them to be expendable, I did.
Speaking of expendables, Nery, who wants to see all of Flint, Michigan, died by poisoned water. Who wants to?
By the way, they have clean water
poison the water, like
FYI.
some sort of old school Superman villain wants to poison the well in a an all-new, all-female Expendables movie is in the works. This is an entertainment podcast, by the way. You sent this to me. The project is tentatively titled.
That disclaimer is so good. By the way, before we get aggregated, this was
for entertainment. The project is tentatively titled The Expendables. and is being described as a female-driven expansion of the franchise. First of all, how do we feel about that name? And
let's go back. Let's go
all,
back to the other. Let's go back to the other view so I could when I edit this
hold
clip.
on a second. Yeah. What the Expendables, like the Beauty and the Beast bell.
Right, the bells of the ball type of deal.
Bells of the, yes.
Right. That's the way I read that. I don't know about the name. I think I guess I'm glad that it's tentatively. It says tentatively titled. So it could be titled something else. I don't know. What else would you name it? Like, so what else would you name it if it's not Expendables? This is a good writing exercise. Like, what would you name an all-female Expendables movie?
I haven't watched I did not watch the last one. I do think that
Expendabroads.
Expendabroads. Again, tough call. I would name it.
The rough one was a difficult watch, man.
I haven't watched
the last Expendable was a difficult watch. Yeah. Spoiler alert: they kill Sylvester Stallone's character in the first 20 minutes of the movie, and then you go, "Why am I fucking here?
What is the point of this?"
Yeah. Why am I fucking here? Then it becomes a Jason Statham film, which is not all in all not in itself bad, but also not what I'm here for.
Yeah. A classic bait and switch.
Yeah.
But I do want to say that it says a long discussed all-female Expendables movie is officially firing up again, according to the Hollywood Reporter. The project is tentatively titled The Expendables and is described as an all-female expansion of the franchise. This new version will reportedly be an origin story set in the late 1990s during the height of Y2K era tension and global uncertainty. The film is expected to introduce a new generation of elite female operatives while expanding the Expendables mythology while standing on its own. Basically, they're saying, hey, it's new, it's old, it's everything you want it to be. Come out and watch it because we don't know what it is.
No, what they're saying is that it's gonna take place in the 90s, and it has to be new because there have been 3 women in the fucking cast before, so like it's gonna be new. That's why they're not saying that the actresses are gonna be brand new actresses. They're saying that they're gonna be new to the franchise. Is what I read. What I took from what you read. So that's what I took from that. I'm okay with it. Like the fact that it's all female or all male doesn't move the needle for me.
No.
I'm more of a who's involved type of deal. Like if you tell me who's involved.
Cynthia Rothrock isn't in this movie, I refuse to go see it. This Expendables,
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Cynthia Rothrock is from that, bro. We haven't done a Kick Flicks in a minute, and Kick Flicks deserves some Cynthia Rothrock movies.
Yes, Cynthia. Yes. Okay, now I know exactly what you're talking about. The blonde lady with
yes,
she's fantastic.
Bro.
She's fantastic. You're right.
So if she's not in it. And Michelle Yeoh has to be in it.
Yeah.
What's the point of why call it Expendables?
Right.
Why call it, if it's just going to be young Stallone and young Mickey Rourke before he cut his face up and young Terry Crews, like if it's just going to be an expansion of the story, what's the point of calling it Expendables, and why not just release it as its own standalone action thing? That is it. You know what I mean? Like also Y2K era tension did not exist. As somebody who lived through it, we were all fine. Nobody gave a shit. There was
tension. There was a lot of like, what's gonna happen? The world's gonna be over. There was a lot of fear around the Y2K thing.
Y2J, Chris Jericho. Right. I was afraid of Chris Jericho for a while.
I will say this though: who from the 80s would you cast if you were casting? Let's do some fantasy casting. Would you cast for this movie?
So
can I give you one? Can I give you one? It's not even necessarily action movie, but she was in a lot of 80s shit. Elizabeth Shue.
Ooh, Elizabeth Shue. So it's saying 1999, right? So like Y2K era, late 90s.
Yeah, but I'm saying Expendables is basically all the 80s action movie people in the movie. That's what the Expendables is. Right. So if we're gonna do that with women, like what women from the 80s?
Yes. What 90s action, 80s, 90s? Interesting. And I'm thinking of action movies of the era, and not a lot of them featured like Bridget Fonda.
Okay.
You know, Bridget Fonda.
Yeah. No Way Out.
No Way Out. Yeah.
No, Point of No Return. That was her thing, right? Point of No Return.
Point of No Return. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gina Davis. Long Kiss Goodnight.
Yes, Gina Davis.
Gina Davis. Oh, hell yeah. Action movie. Oh, you know who I would put in there just because they were in an action movie, but they weren't necessarily the action star of it, but they are in my heart. I will love her forever. Rachel Weisz from The Mummy. I would put her. Okay. She's still kicking around. She's doing a lot of stuff.
There's another mummy coming.
They're doing another mummy. Yeah. I would say that. I'm trying to think of like.
By the way, the Mummy franchise is at the top of my list of overrated franchises. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Sure.
But it's I'm clearly in the minority because it's fucking made 5 films and no one's coming. So I'm in the minority.
I'm trying to think. Oh, Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock should be in it.
Yes, Sandra Bullock. She would be in Ocean's 8 and The Expendables.
Yes, she's in the all-female branches of every franchise will be with her in there with Sandra Bullock. I'm trying to think of action.
You know who was the one from Rebecca De Mornay?
Oh wow! I don't think of her as an action star, but I love her.
She was in FBI.
So good.
She was in the movie FBI. She was in that was action, and she was in the movie Don't Sleep with Strangers. Was it Don't Sleep with Strangers? Was it no?
No, The Hand That Rocks the Cradle.
Yeah, I know, but she was in another one that was more action based than that. She was in one with Antonio Banderas. She was in a movie with Antonio Banderas that was super sexy, but it was action as well. It was actiony thriller.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm trying to think of who else in the 90s like that was action. Because of course you could name like Alicia Silverstone from Clueless. You know, like that would be
from
a good
Batman.
One.
You mean Batgirl?
That's true. Fucking Batgirl. I forgot about Batgirl. I'm trying to think of Cameron Diaz.
Because she was in Charlie's Angels.
She was in Charlie's Angels.
You could have all 3 of them. You could have all 3 of them come back and then do like a wink at the camera, like the Expendables does. You could do like a wink at the camera and be like, "Oh, who sent you? Oh, my friend Charlie. Oh yeah, Charlie sent me too." You could do like a wink at the camera.
Yes, Lucy Liu, of course. I will say one that would be near and dear to my heart as the kick flicks, you know, the 90s kind of action movie, The Pink Ranger, Amy Jo Johnson.
Oh, okay.
That would be interesting. She's dead. So I don't know how to put that one together. But Sarah Michelle Gellar from Buffy.
Yes.
Buffy.
Okay. Now we're cooking with grease. Now we're cooking with grease. I like this. I like this cast.
There's a lot. All of those. You know, like all of them have done actiony things. All of them are from the era. All of them are.
What about Sarah Michelle Gellar and the original movie Buffy?
You mean MAGA Barbie Christy Swanson?
Is she MAGA?
She's so fucking mad. She's she's crazy. She's off the deep end.
I didn't know that. She could be the Sylvester Stallone. She could be the Sylvester Stallone because he's fucking stupid MAGA too.
Stupid MAGA too. Yeah. I'm glad they killed him off in the first 15 minutes. Fuck that guy.
Nah, he came back at the end. It was a
misdirect.
It was a misdirect, and it was so lazy, and it was like, oh fuck you. Fuck. Like I yelled at the theater. I was like, fuck this.
Fuck you.
Piece of shit.
Also, another one that I would say is near and dear to my heart because I had such a crush on her is both Rachel Lee Cook from She's All That. Okay. I had such a crush on her back in the day, and then Jennifer Love Hewitt. No action movie. No. She was in. Oh, you know who was in? No, that was Eliza Dushku was in True Lies.
Eliza Dushku.
Eliza Dushku was a good one. Yeah. She was also in a actiony show, Dollhouse or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. I'll tell you that, like they could. So what I'm getting at is, so they're going to introduce a whole bunch of new female actors, women actresses.
That's not what they said. They said new characters.
The film is expected to introduce a new generation of elite female operatives.
Right, a new generation, meaning that for the female operatives, it's a new generation. Like they're like that. That's what I took it to mean. Is because they are not they have not been seen as an expendable already because Ronda Rousey was an expendable. Right? That's what I took it as. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying like it would be rather difficult. Then why make it an expendables? The expendables is supposed to be like you're getting people from other franchises and putting them together, right?
Yeah.
That's what I took it as.
That's what I took it as too. I don't know. We'll see. I hope it is what it is. I hope it's better than the last one.
Topanga.
Danielle Fishel.
Yeah, no action whatsoever, but
none. You just want to see Topanga on TV.
I want to see her and Kelly Kapowski in the same.
Kelly Kapowski, Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
Dreamboat. Still, by the way, still
a knockout.
Oof,
yeah.
Just wow.
Beautiful. That's the thing. I got someone complimented me. This is the weirdest shit. This is some real LA shit, by the way. Someone complimented me, like, because I was mentioning my wife, and I'm like, yeah, my wife is my age. Like, we're like very close in age. And they're like, oh, they reacted. like it was like a compliment. I'm like, I'm 44, you know, and my wife and I,
like age appropriate. Your wife.
They literally were like, "How old's your wife?" And I'm like, "It wouldn't be close." And I was like, "No, she's my age. We're like about the same age." And they're like, "Oh." I was like, "Are you like, fucking kidding me?"
You're so brave. You're
so brave to be married to a woman your own age. It's like
you know how people throw away the word, they throw around the word brave, like, oh, she came out without makeup. She's so brave.
So
it's like,
brave.
what? That's brave. Okay. Like that fat guy went out without a shirt. He's so brave. It's like, what? What are we talking about? What are we talking about here?
That reminds me of that joke that I think it's a Jim Gaffigan joke of when they show the fat guy on the news, but they cut off his head. That guy knows it's him, and he's watching. He's like, "Oh man!" Like they when they talk about like obesity, whatever. It's I brutalized the joke, but yeah, somebody was like, "Oh," like they were excited that I was married to someone my own age. Like I earned a prize of something. Like, "Oh, this tells me about you," and I'm like, "I guess it does."
When I went to LA once, I was staying with Michael Yo, and Michael lived in the Hollywood Hills at that moment, and I was staying with him for a week. And I went to like a local diner, and I'm stupid. I didn't know that everything in Hollywood Hills is super duper expensive and super duper. Even this is like 12, 13 years ago, was super hoity-toity. Like, this is a vegan pancake and this and all this bullshit and all whatever. So I ate the food. And I tweeted about it like, hey, I had the most expensive homegrown pancakes, but they were delicious. And I tagged the people. And the people were like, oh, we're so happy that you enjoyed our pancakes. And I'm like, oh, you missed the whole point of the whole fucking tweet.
I mean,
I did enjoy them, but also you missed the point where I talked about how stupid it was for being vegan and also super expensive, $1 zillion. But they were like, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Come back to visit us. And I was like, okay, sure.
What are we doing? We were gonna do some reactions to trailers.
We just have one trailer, right?
Well, yeah, we just have the let's see. This is, speaking of people reacting to my wife being my age. Here's a reaction. Boom. Segue. Done. This is the movie Wildwood by Leica Studios. This is the new stop motion animation. I want you to like genuinely like. This is. We'll see. All right. Let's just go.
He's got to go outside sometime.
No, he doesn't.
Promise me you won't leave the house. I promise we won't leave the house.
This is all stop motion animation. Like, it's so crazy to me. Also, I think it's cheating. Yeah, I think it's cheating by putting this song on everything, because it is like this song is the song, but it's like this is literally emotional content in a song.
Yeah,
like, obvious. It said, and it also said from the hands that made Coraline, as opposed to the AI that cranked out bullshit. Look at the waters hitting.
Oh my God. I do the same thing on my phone, bro.
You get it. You understand. I know what you're saying. It doesn't match your true heart.
It doesn't. I don't care. I don't care.
This looks. I mean, it looks amazing.
It looks fucking phony baloney to me.
It is phony baloney. It's made.
Oh,
These are all little
right.
models that they
Yeah.
take pictures of, one after the other.
I think their computer's using this.
Yeah. The computer is using this. It's a dog that is like a person. The dog thinks it's people. I also love a trailer that just shows a bunch of shit, doesn't have any commentary yet, and it's like, here's a stunning visuals, but we've ruined none of the story for you in a variety. You know, like, sure, there's a lot of these pieces of the puzzle,
But also,
you don't know what
we
this
have
is
no
about?
idea what. Yeah, you do. This obviously her kid died.
Fairy tale. I just want my brother.
There you go, brother. I said son.
Brother
It was brother.
kidnapped.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think it's kidnapped. I think the kid died.
Oh, you think it's a metaphor?
Yeah. I
for
think the kid died. I think. I want my brother back, and like I think the kid died. Her brother died, and she's going through the grief process, and it's pretty obvious. That's what obvious to me. That's what it looks like to me. I mean, but that's what I took from.
But that's the point of art, Nery, is that we all bring our perspectives to it as we watch it.
I know.
That's the
I was
whole
telling
point.
my friend ChatGPT the same thing. I agree completely.
At what point do you fall in love with her? At what point
First of
are
all,
you-
the fact that you make it a female is so sexy. You're so
the
sexy.
movie Her, man. The movie Her.
No, I know, but I was talking about, like, can you imagine? What if a straight dude
Or him.
fell in love with? What if a straight
Gay?
dude fell in love with his AI, but he purposely made the AI same sex? It's like, oh, so you've been gay? I'm not gay. My AI just happens to be a dude. It's like, what?
Yeah. My wife changed Siri to a guy, so when she's like, "Hey Siri," and it's like a British dude, and I'm like, "Am I?"
I have the black dude. I have my Siri.
You
is
have
the
the black guy?
dude.
Yeah,
I have the black guy, and then not only do I have the black guy, whenever he answers me, I go, "Hey Siri, what's the weather?" Blah blah blah, and he'll be like, "Oh, today is 87 degrees." I go, "Thank you, brother."
I did an Australian one, and I'm like, no, I just need as neutral a robot as I can't think of this. I need a neutral robot voice.
Yeah. By the way,
I would make it. Can I make it my voice?
I don't think you. Well, that's using AI. That's against your religion. Apparently, you can't do that.
No, there's a voice print thing, but it's not
Yes,
using
that's AI. It's literally
I'm-
using AI. It gets your voice and it starts making every word in the dictionary.
I'm not gonna
AI.
get into the idea of why AI is a marketing term and not a technological term. It's a large language model that is run on other servers trained on data, but also you training a voice recognition software is not artificial intelligence. It's what the software is programmed to do. I'm not going to get into all that. What I'm going to get into is it would be cool if I could. But is it narcissistic that I want to have myself in my phone?
Yeah, that's fine.
Fair,
but it doesn't. But it's not narcissistic in a bad way. It's like, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I mean, I'm literally Googling how to create a charm for my chain, a jewelry charm with my comedy logo. I mean, who the fuck? Who's gonna like what? Yeah.
Excuse me. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. Is it better if I have the death of a fucking god on my chain? Is that better for you? Like, how is that any better? Like, how is that any fucking weird?
I don't judge if
or
you
less
want to
weird?
put a flying spaghetti monster on your chain. Go ahead.
Right, spaghetti monster or the Nery Saenz comedy logo. Why? I mean, who gives a shit? Like, it's a fucking chain.
Or. Hey man,
it's literally jewelry made for looks. Like, it's just for looks. It doesn't make.
I would literally judge you more if it was the Empire logo instead of the the Rebels. I would literally judge you more because at this point,
why would the Empire logo? Why would I have an elephant on my? Why would I create that?
Why would you create the evil? You might as well have a swastika because that's what's happening.
Yeah. By the way, you know, that speaking of Gaffigan, remember that Gaffigan bit where he was like, you ever tell people you just saw a movie and they're like, what? You just saw it, like, yeah, but I want to talk about it. Like, the movie came out 5 years ago.
the
Like, I
movie
want to
Heat.
talk about it now. Yeah, I want to talk about it now.
Yeah.
So I have seen this movie in bits and pieces, and there's two of them, but I've seen one of them. One I never seen anything except for like the main thing that everybody knows it for. But I've seen this movie in bits and pieces my entire life, but I never sat down and watched the entire thing until earlier this week, and it's Full Metal Jacket. And I saw Full Metal Jacket, and I'm glad I didn't see it as a kid. Not because of anything other than I think the tones and the meat. I think, yeah, I don't think I would have got it. I think I would have gotten it on the surface level. It's a war movie, it's a movie, blah 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 blah. But I wouldn't have gotten it on the deeper, the duality of man and all this shit. It was really fucking. And I sound like an idiot. You're like, hey, fuck it. So I texted my friend Dave, and I was like, hey. Full Metal Jacket is fucking awesome. And he's like, you don't say it. I'm like, yeah, but I want to talk about it right now. I want to talk about it right now.
I want to talk about it now.
But it's so good. So for the last 4 days, I've been fucking talking to anybody I could have. Like, you guys see Full Metal Jacket? This shit is amazing.
So in Miami culture terms, you are just now seeing the true source of me so horny?
So again, I had seen that clip. I've seen the clip before.
I'm talking about the source. Like, you finally watched all of the source material for
in its entirety. In its entirety, yes.
In
its entirety. Oh, me so hard. Me love you long time. Yeah.
That's that's Miami culture.
Two Live Crew.
That's Two Live Crew. They pulled it. I was just I don't know why that hit me where it's like, wait, you're just learning about, I'm thinking about all the different.
But I had seen that scene specifically before. I had seen a lot of the scenes where D'Onofrio in it. I had seen, but again, in bits and pieces. I never sat down and watched the whole thing. And it is such a great movie. Holy shit. And then the other movie that I saw for the first time is because my daughter came in and told me that she was watching this movie and it was really good. It's an old movie and she was watching it. It was really good. And the movie that she was watching was a 2011 remake of the movie. And I was like, you got to watch the fucking original. Blah, 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 blah. And then I realized, wait a minute, Nery, you've never seen the original. What are you fucking talking about?
What are we talking about?
Ben-Hur. So I watched Ben-Hur.
Wow.
It's such a good fucking movie, bro. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, man. Some of those classics are like, so the pacing is very different, and it feels like a different era of movie. But when the action scenes kick in, and you're like, this is the part that.
So the action scenes to me are what make it a little bit pokey to me.
Because
really when I focus on those old school movies, especially from the 50s, late 50s and stuff. From those old school movies, what I focus on is the acting, because they do some real superb acting, man. And some of the times, some of the shit, like, it's so, like, some of the shit takes you out of, like, you see Ben-Hur and he comes out and he has blood on his thing, but the blood is bright red, and you go,
it's fake.
Get the fuck out of here.
Well, because that's
AI.
the thing about that's AI.
And,
that's the thing about the suspension of disbelief. Like, I'll watch it. Like, I was just noticing this where I was watching. Black Rain, but I was watching, what was that movie? It was an action movie, but it was a 90s, man, I can't remember what it was, but I was watching something and I was like, oh, they crashed those cars into that building. Like, that building had to have exploded. Like, oh God, what movie was it?
So same thing goes for Full Metal Jacket when they would shoot up the building, because Stanley Kubrick was notorious and famous for doing 30, 40 takes of a scene, 30, 40 takes. And I saw the making of after watching the movie, because I was like, I gotta fucking find out more. So I was watching a documentary of the making of, and they said that after every scene, every time they shot up that building, it would take a day before they could shoot it again, because they had to go and plaster the fucking the holes in the walls. And you're like, what?
They basically had to rebuild the walls every day.
Pretty much, for lack of a better. And I was like, oh my God. So but anyways, Ben-Hur is phenomenal. It's a really good movie. The 1959 Ben-Hur, which by the way isn't even the original Ben-Hur, because there was a Ben-Hur before that. The movie's been remade 5 times. So I get it. I understand. But it was really, that movie was excellent. I did not. Again, I said this to Dave as well. I go, Ben-Hur is really good. He goes, please tell me more about this Ben-Hur, if you would.
Yeah.
It's like,
hey, have you guys seen this movie? Oh God, it's so good. Star Wars.
Yeah, you guys seen about this?
You guys heard about this?
You see this? You guys heard about this?
It's-
Anyways, two movies who again, older movies. I love watching old movies. I'm now what I'm doing, what I do every once in a while when I don't know what to watch, I will go through like AFI's top 100 list and see like what movies I've seen. And I'm up to like 72 movies that I've seen from AFI. So I'm missing a few. Some of them are a tough watch. I'm not going to lie. Some of them are you're like, oof, this is fucking brutal. But some of them you find these gems where you go, fucking, hey, Sunset Boulevard was amazing. And this, like all these, there's some real good movies that just because they're old, I know a lot of us are like, that fucking came out before my time. I'm like, dude, some of them are really good. Some of them
There's a lot of these classics. My wife, Chiquita's she likes those old timey musicals, like Singing in the Rain and stuff like that.
Singing in the Rain, right?
Those,
I still haven't seen The Sound of Music. I still haven't watched The Sound of Music.
We watched The Sound of Music, and then she's like, "Where are all these Nazis coming from?" And I'm like, "The whole thing is about Nazis at the end of it, because most people only know the."
It's funny. I said the same thing. I said the same thing when I was watching the news.
Yeah,
I was like, where are these Nazis coming from?
And it's like, if you were paying attention, you would have known they were there from the beginning. They've been there the whole time. I'm scrolling back. I'm trying to see what movie.
We laugh, but it's.
Oh, The Bourne Identity. It was The Bourne Identity.
Go.
I was watching The Bourne Identity, and they were like, they were driving through the Mini through Paris or whatever, like and then they were doing the gunfight with the sniper where he has just like a shot. Bourne Identity is still one of my top action movies. I love that movie so much.
It's great.
But I was watching it, and there's a very real feeling you get when especially in these old movies, they could not have made it any other way. In those classic movies, when they're riding the horses and the horse rides over a guy, there's padding under the guy, but the horse rode over a guy. There was no other way to do it.
Hey man, I'm very pleased that they're gonna start doing Academy Awards for stunt people. Like they should. It's a very well thing. Oh, by the way, speaking of which, I saw the new Mortal Kombat 2 movie. Fucking awesome. It was so good. That's why I haven't talked about it, because I know you hadn't watched it, but I was like, it's so fucking good.
It's on my list. Maybe I'll go see it this weekend.
Dude, you gotta go. It's good.
Is it streaming? Is it also? But it's in the theater. But is it both, or did they do theater release?
It's just fucking theater release. Go watch it in the theater, dude.
I'm asking specifically because I want to
theater. Support the theater. Support the theater. Don't support opera. Ugh. Support the theater. This fucking douchebag. What a douchebag.
Shamalama ding dong. Thank you, everybody.
I told you from before. I was a hater of that guy from before, and his fucking colors came out. I fucking knew it. Fuck that guy. Fuck him and his.
You're a hater, and there's a reason.
Correct.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us for today's episode of WUBro Pod, the What's Up Bro podcast. You can follow us at WUBro Pod on all social media platforms, using the platforms of our enemies to smite them, or just talk about random shit.
By the way, my wife used the phrase WUBro the other day in conversation to her friends. And her friend was like, "What's that?" She goes, "Oh, that's my husband's podcast." She goes, "Oh, really? I just thought you were saying," because my wife says bro a lot. She goes, "I thought you were saying bro, but like Ric Flair, like woo, bro." And I was like, "That's it. That's the new one.
That's woo, bro,
bro."
Or I was thinking maybe she thought it was like that's like the female bro, like instead of men and women, it's bro and WUBro.
Bro, yeah. All right. Anyways, thank you for checking us out.
At all the social media, at Nery Saenz, at Mike Valdes. Like, share, and subscribe. Tell us what action. Tell us your get in the chat on the
Fantasy
Pod, and Fantasy Cast, the Expendables. Ooh, what a rough name. The 90s. If they were to do an Expendables version with 90s action,
Expendables.
Expendables.
Fantasy Cats Expendables. Check us out. Thank you for checking us out. All right. And that's how winning is done. Peace.